Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I wanted to talk about just something so random that's been on my mind for a while to talk about, and that is being comfortable in your plain Jane, or for you gentlemen out there, your plain Joe, I guess you can call it. Your plain Jane or plain Joe state, or as I like to call it, your canvas state. You're very dressed down, very comfortable, but in the light of not comparing yourself to other people and being very comfortable that way, no matter who else is around that's more dressed up than you, that's more made up than you. Just about being confident about yourself and not comparing. Just, there's nothing wrong with being plain Jane or plain Joe. So let's get started. My name is Charrese. Welcome to my channel, Gracefully Charrese. Now, I want to start by saying that this is not to condemn anyone. Whether you wear no makeup, a lot of makeup, or somewhere in between, no condemnation here. That's not what this is about. It's about being comfortable. When you go out, you have little to no makeup on, or maybe you're very dressed down, and you see someone else or other people and they are more dressed up than you, more made up than you, and it's about still being comfortable, not comparing yourself to those people. Okay, so what do I mean when I say plain Jane or plain Joe? For plain Jane, that's when you are wearing very little makeup or no makeup. Maybe you're just dressed really down, very comfortable. And for you gentlemen out there, you're just very comfortable, not dressed up, very, very casual. I tend to wear very, very little. Even when I look more glammed up, all I did different from this was just throw on some eye makeup. I personally don't, not that I think I'm better or anything, but I don't wear foundation or powder or contour. My makeup is more so eyes and lips, and of course I do my eyebrows. But there are some days where I'm just like this. I'm very plain Jane and I'm comfortable. It's okay to be confident as long as you're humble about it. So, firstly, when I hear or see online people complaining about women who wear makeup to the gym, my first reaction is, what is her wearing makeup to the gym? Like, what is it hurting you? I hear this all the time. I see it. It's like, why is she wearing makeup to the gym? I can't stand girls who wear makeup to the gym. You know, it's kind of like a who is she trying to impress kind of thing. And it's usually coming from ladies who choose to wear absolutely no makeup to the gym, or they are clearly like insecure, like very insecure. Because I know someone who's like this. They make comments about other people and why are they wearing so much makeup. They become very judgmental when they see someone in a relationship that they feel in their eyes is unattractive, and they're just like, well, how did she get a man? This person's not in my life for a reason. But these are things that I have heard them say, seen them post. Yeah, I prefer not to be close to people like that. I'm either very distant but kind to them, or I just don't have them in my life at all. Sometimes it comes from people that are just curious. Two things can be true, but sometimes it comes from women who are very insecure, and seeing another woman who's more made up triggers their insecurities. Some people, they feel the need, sadly, they feel the need to bring someone else down in order to temporarily lift themselves up. And so this is pretty much where this is coming from a lot of the time. Sometimes there's the factor of men that come into play, where they tend to feel like that girl's going to get more attention. Let me tell you this. I had a best friend who was male. He just passed away a little over a year ago, but we were best friends for 15 years. So I have a lot of insight. Let me just tell you, if you are concerned about this, first of all, first and foremostly, whoever is meant for you is there for you, okay? And men, it can go either way. They really don't care. They really want to see you the way you are. They want to see you without your makeup. They want to see how you look when you wake up or when your hair is messy. They think it's cute. They think it's attractive. And then there are some men who they will look at women who have a lot of makeup on and they're fascinated and they're like, wow, you took a lot of time to do that. You're creative. You're artistic. When a man is interested in you, they're interested in you. They're not marrying your makeup. They're not marrying your hair. Yes, men can be visual and, they want to see your natural and true beauty. But understand that that's in the eye of the beholder. And a man who's ready for a relationship, he's not just looking at your outer beauty. He's looking for your inner beauty. Are you a beautiful person? Do you have a beautiful heart? Do you have a beautiful mind? How do you treat people? Can you, are you virtuous? And, are you somebody that I can create beautiful memories with, have fun with, goof off with, relax with, hang out with? Can we comfort each other? That's what they're looking for, okay? So this woman that walks in who has more makeup on than you, if the man is for you, he's for you. You can see when somebody is attractive, but that doesn't mean he's attracted. I hope that makes sense for somebody out there. Don't worry about that, I'm going to give you reasons why women might wear makeup to the gym. One, and this is a bit more serious and I won't be too specific because I don't want to trigger anybody, but one reason why a woman might wear makeup to the gym might be something that they are hiding. You don't know what's going on at home. You don't know if going to the gym is an escape for them. They might have a very sad domestic situation going on. You don't know what they're covering. Also, they might be wearing makeup to cover skin issues, whether it be hyperpigmentation, just different skin conditions that come about due to health issues. You don't know what they're covering up. You don't know if this is making them feel more confident. So while you are judging, and even for some, like snickering and laughing and filming them, you could be kicking that woman or that girl while she's down. So think about it from that perspective. Another reason why a woman or a girl might wear makeup to the gym is that's just who she is. That's who she was raised to be. My hometown is mostly Mexican, Hispanic. Please forgive me, I don't know what you prefer to be called. But a lot of the Hispanic or Mexican women in my hometown, they were raised to always be dressed up, when they leave the house. So it can be very early in the morning, and some of these ladies are very dressed up. Some women are raised that way, not just in the Hispanic or Mexican culture, but in a lot of cultures. It's just how they are. And if that woman feels like a face full of makeup is her version of dressed up, then that's what she's going to do. It's just her culture. Now, another reason might be, well, you might have guessed it. Maybe there's somebody there that she's trying to impress. And I'm hoping that she already feels beautiful, inside and in a more natural state as well. But either way, it's none of our concern. It's none of our business, you guys. Leave her alone. As long as she's not interrupting and getting in the way of working out, then it shouldn't be a problem for you or anyone there. And lastly, simply because she feels like it. There doesn't need to be any deep reason. Let the woman wear her makeup, okay? I have to say this, but her beauty takes nothing away from yours. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody else's attractiveness takes nothing away from yours. And again, remember, attractiveness goes beyond our physical appearance. It goes beyond our outer being, okay? We have to be beautiful on the inside. Our inner being has to be beautiful. Okay, so that's something that's just very common. Like, if you go to the gym with no makeup, fine. Be confident that way. Be confident, be comfortable, no matter who else is there that's wearing a face full of makeup. Okay, the next scenario is something that I witnessed when I was at a department store. So I was standing in line and I seen another young lady standing in line, and she was very comfortable, and she had what, we refer to as a messy bun. It's the high bun, messy bun. She looked cute. If I can remember, she either had some like leggings on or some like thin sweats that just weren't like baggy, and she was very comfortable. You can tell that she just went to the store to pick a couple items up because she was holding what she had in her hands. and she was just looking around. Now, there was a woman that walked by, and I noticed, now I'm not an expert here, but there are some things that are just common sense. And I noticed that when this woman walked by, she was more like made up, dressed up. Now, the lady who was, real comfortable with the messy bun, she suddenly started to her body language changed. She started to kind of come in like this, like she started examining the other woman and just looking at her up and down. And I can see just this look of insecurity just wash over her face. And it was like almost like she was kind of trying to hide a little bit. And I didn't know her, so I didn't want to say anything to her. But that was my first thought. Like, her beauty takes nothing away from yours. And I just felt bad. So I have to say this here. This is one of the reasons why it's nice to compliment people. Sometimes like when you're standing in line, once you get to the cashier, find something that you admire and compliment them on it. I like your nails, I like your shirt, like your tie, whatever it is, I like your hair. Because you don't know how much they might need that encouragement, or how bad of a day they might have had, and how much that can boost their confidence. I just think you just never know. You can be somebody's blessing and not know it. Don't do it just to, try to make yourself look like a good person. No, I'm just saying come from a genuine place and just, compliment somebody, brighten somebody's day, hopefully. There was a moment where I did overhear somebody talking. Now, this is one time where I felt in my spirit that I should say something. There was a young lady who was standing with a family member of hers. It was clear that they were related. And she was talking about how somebody was talking negatively about how she dressed, basically saying that, she had I guess it was like I don't like this word, but like an ugly, like, sense of fashion. She had a very different way of dressing. She was an adult, but she kind of dressed up kind of like a doll in a way. And while it's not my personal style, who am I to put her down, And so I could tell that whomever was talking about her, I don't know if it was one person or multiple, but it really got to her. And so I prayed, and I felt the Lord was leading me to compliment her, to encourage her. So, and I'm not saying this to try to make myself look good. This is just an example. So after we all left, I walked up to her and I said to her, you know what? I think it's really brave of you, in a world where people worry so much about what other people think, that you still decide to have your own sense of style. You're beautiful. And I can tell that really touched her heart. She was like, oh, thank you. And she was so sweet. In my eyes, she was beautiful. And if you're watching, hi. I don't know if you'll ever come across this, but you are beautiful. And so that's why it's nice to compliment each other, guys. This world, we need more kindness in this world. But back to the lady in the grocery store, I just wish she knew that just because this woman walked in here looking fully dressed up, as beautiful as she looked, that doesn't mean that she's no longer beautiful. I wish she knew that took nothing away from her beauty, or away from who she is, away from her purpose, away from her gifts, her talents. There's so much more to us, And yes, while we should take care of our outer being, our physical appearances, and our health, we should also take care of, or rather, we should also work on building our characters. We should also work on the postures and the conditions of our hearts, and our mental health, our emotional well-being, and who we are and how we treat one another. So yeah, I just wish she knew that there's more to who you are. Yes, she looked beautiful, but so did you. So rock that plain Jane canvas stateness, okay? By the way, I just cut my hair, so you're probably gonna see some choppiness. And the separation of the, my real hair from the clip-ins. But anyway, last but not least, and I'm not saying this to be arrogant, this is just what happened, and it's just a great example. Well, this is a more personal situation. So me and a relative of mine, we were walking into Burlington Coat Factory. So, it's a big store with glass, and you can see in, people can see out. So I was walking in with this person, and there was another woman inside the store. I seen her before she seen me, and she was walking with her friends, okay? She was walking with her friends, and she was smiling and ha 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 laughing, and she was really happy. And I walked in. Now, I won't say I was super dressed up, but I had my little tricks. If I'm really plain like this, if I want to be just slightly more dressed up, I'll just throw on a fashionable hat, some wedges, like just some short heels, because I'm not good with tall heels, and I'll probably throw on some red lipstick, and those things just make you look a little bit more dressed up. So I noticed that, and I wasn't judging her. She was fine. I'm not judging her. She doesn't need my validation anyways. But she had her hair, you can tell it was washed and blow dried down in like a low bun. And she was very dressed down, very casual. Again, nothing wrong with it. And I walked in, and she turns and she looks at me, and I'm going to show you exactly how she looked, okay? I'm going to feel silly doing this. I'm sorry if that was creepy. The rest of the time, that was the look that she had on her face. And when we passed each other, you know, you can tell when somebody's purposely trying not to look at you. And then she would like kind of hurry up, and she just looked really angry. And I thought to myself, I don't know you, you know? And the person that was with me, they're just like, did you see that? I was like, yeah, it's okay. And so that's just the way she was for the rest of the time. It's an easy assessment given that I know my hometown. A lot of the women and girls here can be very catty, very, very competitive. If they see you dressed up or made up, or if they perceive you as being attractive, sometimes they just won't like you. Or rather, sometimes they don't really, sadly, they don't really like themselves. So something about you, whether it be your outer beauty, your inner beauty, your humor, your how personable you are, your talents, your gifts, something about you will trigger them. And they will even try to turn other people against you. So I just know my town. And so that's exactly what she did. She was happy, and then she seen me, and then instantly anger. Somebody else's presence, you guys, should not take away your joy. Someone else's beauty, and I'm going to add to that someone else's talents, someone else's gifts, someone else's purpose, someone else's character, someone else's, like God's will for somebody else's life. It takes nothing away from you or any of yours. And I have to stress that. You can see someone over there, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty, that is handsome, that's dressed up, that has maybe more money than you, or more things than you, or more opportunities, or, you know, maybe they have a lot of accomplishments. That doesn't mean that suddenly you're unattractive, that suddenly you have no purpose, suddenly you're a failure, suddenly negative. Like, it doesn't mean that, you guys. Stop comparing. The only comparisons, let me tell you, I don't compete with anyone. I only compete with myself to be a better person than I was yesterday. That is the only competition that I participate in, unless it's a healthy sport. That's it, okay? So that's the mindset that you should have. Compete with yourself. Try to be a better, in a healthy ways, okay? Healthy ways. Try to be a better you than you were yesterday, okay? And remember that you are you for a reason. How you look, for a reason. Your beauty was given to you for a reason. Your laughter, how you laugh, how you smile, how you walk, how you talk, your style, all given to you for a reason. Your purposes, because every single one of us, every single one of you has a purpose, okay? All given to you for a reason. Your character given to you for a reason. How you brighten up somebody's day, whether it be through humor, through writing, through gift giving, through creating, however you brighten people's days, that was given to you for a reason, okay? Your hair texture, your skin color, your features, your ethnicity, your mix of ethnicities, all of that, your culture, all of it was given to you for a reason, okay? And so you were created because this world needed one of you, okay? We all are needed in this life. We all bring something to the table of life. So let's stop the comparisons, okay? And again, nothing about that person takes a thing away from you. I'm going to come from a loving place for people who actually hate on other people. If you're someone who finds yourself hating on somebody else, I will strongly encourage you to, instead of wasting your precious time hating on someone else, please choose to wisely spend your time growing and expanding your knowledge. And perhaps that person that you're hating on, put any negative feelings aside and ask them for their advice. Put the pride aside, put the insecurities aside, and say, hey, I like the way you style your hair. How do you do your hair? Or I think it's really cool that you started your own business. Like, how did you do that? Whatever it is, wisely spend your time instead of unwisely wasting your time. There's so many resources out there now, and there's really no excuse to not grow in this life, and I say that from a loving place. That very person that you're hating on could actually be your blessing. So remember that. Whether you're plain Jane all the time or some of the time, or plain Joe, embrace who you are. Don't compare yourself to somebody else, okay? You are you for a reason, and you are awesome and purposeful, just the way you were created. Of course, we can all grow and we can all improve, and it's a journey. Embrace who you are, okay? So that was all. I just had to say that. Sometimes God just gives me topics and just puts them in my spirit, and I just had to talk about that because the comparisons, even amongst men, it has to stop. And until next time, do all things in love and gracefully. Bye. That was corny but fun.